Alrighty, good morning, Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. This video you're going to see today, I was supposed to shoot and release on Friday. That didn't happen. On Wednesday we're going to talk about why that is, but today we are going to have to combine a couple of things to keep from getting behind. As you know, last week I was in the shop. My first 8 days with the company, I spent 6 days in the shop, and a lot of people have been asking me what I think about Dart now and how that process went. And so we're going to cover that. And then in the mix, in the salad, we're going to talk about, Dart has several slogans. They have Drive Like a Boss, they have the Dart Advantage, and probably a couple of more that I can't even think of off the top of my head. So in this video, I'm going to combine those two things and wrap them together, and they're actually going to fit pretty well together. So y'all stay with me, and here we go. And we're back. So before we get started, there's a few housekeeping things we need to talk about. I got a couple of emails this week saying that some of you guys had been unsubscribed by YouTube. So right below this video, make sure that you're still subscribed to this channel so that you get notifications when new videos come out. Also, if you just stumbled upon me and you've never seen any of my stuff, go ahead and subscribe at this time. Give me a thumbs up. It's right down below the video also. That also helps spread this video out to more people in the suggestion thing, and makes more people aware of what we're doing here. Also, share this video on your social media platforms, especially with people that think you might be interested with what we're doing here. Alright, so let's talk about this for a second. I'm going to attack this from two different angles. I'm going to tell you about Dart's slogans that I'm aware of, and then I'm going to give you a suggested slogan for Dart that they might want to consider using in the future. And then I'm going to also tie that in to my experience with Dart so far. So, and I'm going to do it pretty quickly because I've got to get laundry and a shower and do some other things. Like always, y'all leave me a comment down below. My email's there. Feel free to email me if you don't want to put something out there in public. And also, if you would like to apply at Dart Transit, there's a link there that will put you with my recruiter. And he was a great guy. Orientation went really smooth because of him, and I would encourage you to use him. His name is Matt. If you have lots of questions, they have company and lease purchase available. There's a phone number there. You can actually talk to my recruiter. My driver number's there as well. Tell him you talked to me, you saw my videos on YouTube, and he'll get you fixed up, answer any questions you might have. All right, the first slogan that we're going to talk about is the Dart Advantage. Now, what are the advantages here? Well, for one thing, they've got a ton of freight, and another thing, they have nice equipment. I know when I worked here before, the joke going around was that Dart stood for dragging around ratty trailers. We have not experienced that this time. The trailers, we've found them to be in really good condition. I drive nice equipment. We're probably going to release that video on Friday. So because I've been in rain, I really want to get this truck washed, but if I can't get out of the rain, then I'm just going to have to shoot it the way it is. So the way this schedule is going to work is we're doing this video today. On Wednesday, I'm going to talk to you about why Friday I didn't get a video out at all. Today I was super busy and barely got this one out. And so we'll cover that on Wednesday. And then on Friday we'll take a look at this truck. So I can think of a ton of Dart advantages, a lot of great things. They have a pro stop where you can get work done really cheap. I know a lot of companies have that, but they're also able to do some warranty work, and I know some companies can do that as well. Like I said, on Wednesday we'll discuss some of this stuff a little more. I'm trying to keep this video pretty short, so I'm just doing kind of a quick overview of these things. But there definitely is a Dart advantage in my opinion. Now, drive like a boss is another one of their slogans, and it kind of goes along the same lines. It's you know, going to the adage that bosses generally have nicer equipment, and they do. They got T680s, they've got Freightliners, and I'm not talking trucks that are 5 or 6 years old. I'm talking about trucks that are late model and have all the latest bells and whistles on them. You might argue too many bells and whistles. This thing has lane departure, it has adaptive cruise control, all kinds of goodies on it. The one thing it does, well, it actually has two things missing that I wish it did have, and one of them is the blind spot monitoring, which is the little LED light on the A-pillar over there that lets you know when a car's in your blind spot. You can do lean and look and see if there's anything over there, but that light just gives you a little more reassurance. The other thing I wish it had, and it's not a huge deal, we're going to take care of it within the next week or two, would be a refrigerator. You know, at Roadrunner I had a refrigerator in my truck, and I really appreciated and benefited from that. Understand why they don't put refrigerators in these trucks. With them having company drivers and lease purchase, and you know how lease purchase is. Some guys make it, some don't. They leave messes in the trucks. I remember when I was at Roadrunner, I'd get pictures of trucks that people had left rotten food in and all kinds of stuff. So from Dart's perspective, I can understand why they don't put a refrigerator in there. Now, what would my slogan be for Dart if I was going to make a slogan for Dart? I would say it's real simple, and I'm going to elaborate on it. My slogan for Dart would be, "We're with you." Now, why would I say that? Well, let's look at it from a customer standpoint. Imagine this on the side of a trailer. We're with you. Right now, COVID's going on. A lot of companies are struggling. I could easily name a dozen restaurants or department stores that's closed as a direct result of the shutdown and of the virus. It's kind of a dog-eat-dog world right now, where companies are really struggling and doing everything they can to survive. And I think it would be good from a business perspective for a company to say, "Hey, we're with you. We're here to help. You need something, we're here." And I think on a corporate level that would be a good slogan for Dart. Now let's talk about why it would be a good slogan for my situation when I broke down the other day. Initially, I was pretty frustrated because I was not expecting the help, support, or concern that I did get. Let me give you some example. My truck is financed with Highway Sales, the finance company. I got a phone call from my representative there, and it was not your typical finance call. Your typical finance call would be, "Hey, are you going to be able to make your payments on time?" Things like that. This was, "Hey, are you okay? Where'd you sleep last night? Is your wife okay? Do y'all got plenty of food? Do you need anything? Is there anything I can do to help?" That come from the finance company. So I was blown away, and you're going to see some other examples of things like this, to the point my wife was so surprised she was crying at one point. I was so shocked that at one point I told the CEO and president of the company, "Wow, I don't know what to say." So while we're on that, let's talk about him for a second. He took over a short time ago from what I understand. I don't know the exact length of time. I'm assuming about a year or two ago. And he started his career as a driver from what I understand. I would describe him as very pro driver and very proactive, trying to take care of problems before they become problems. He was very concerned. He and I talked on the phone probably 3 or 4 times, and I don't mean 30-second phone calls. I mean 5 to 55, I'd say probably 10 to 20-minute phone calls. Had a very productive conversation. When I get to Egan, which is the headquarters, I'm going to email him, and at some point we're hoping to sit down and have a face-to-face talk. One of the phone calls he called me, he was on speakerphone. I knew there was a lot of people listening. The VP of maintenance was in the room. The VP of maintenance reached out to me, and we discussed the situation. And his deal was, I explained to him that one of the main reasons I left Roadrunner was I was concerned about warranty. And initially, the shop was saying that the fifth wheel wasn't covered under warranty. So what he did is he sent me some details on how the warranty was, what it was, the length of it, so that I would know for future references. Then we discussed breakdown strategy, and he gave me a lot of good advice. And so again, some of the cynical people will say, well, that's his job. Some of the more reasonable people will say, wow, that's going above and beyond what most companies would do. Now, another guy we need to talk about is, and I don't know his title, he was my original fleet manager when I worked at DART back in 2010 when I started. You had him the first 3 months, and then he got promoted to where he's my fleet manager's boss now. He contacted me, was super helpful, really concerned. I mean, it would blow your mind if you knew how concerned they are, how much they wanted to help. And one more thing on the president and CEO, he was real upset that when the breakdown looked like it was going to take more than a day or two, that it wasn't escalated to upper management so they could try to do something. He's very concerned about drivers not sitting, running, making money, and that's a good thing, because a lot of companies don't care, to be completely honest. And so he's a great guy. I haven't met anybody here yet that I didn't feel was just top notch, from the breakdown people to the shop people. I've dealt with a lot of really good people here, and so I could go on and on. I could list 5 or 10 more. I'm kind of keeping it general and doing an overview here because I don't want to forget anybody. There was so many people that were helpful and concerned, and I mean, my phone was blowing up. Both phones were ringing constantly with people. Hey, can I help? What's it looking like? What do you think? And that's so unusual in trucking that that's why I've come up with that slogan for them of "We're with you," because it did feel like they were with me. You've seen the video on the shop. I was in a horrible shop, and that's not DART's fault, but it was like they was in there with me. They was concerned and wanting to help. And so even though I've just pulled a handful of loads for them, at this point I'm officially endorsing them, recommending them, and I would encourage each of you to not walk but to run here as quick as you can. Get your application in and get a truck and get to making money with a company that actually cares about you. And so I'm going to wrap this up. Like I told you earlier, I've already ran longer than what I had planned on doing. I got to get in there, get a shower. Feel free to message me. I'll answer any questions you got, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a great day.